Hello again. Welcome to the Patreon edition of a very special episode of Black, White, Red All Over. I'm Jeremy Duff, not Victor Dandridge.
I'm Ryan Seymour. Yeah, so like it's Vic's turn to be indisposed this week. So, we're forging forward, and he's missing out because Donny Cates dropped another issue of Thor on us this week.
Thor number 3. As we go back to the adventures of the Herald of Thunder.
Yeah, and the thing is, coming off of the multiple years of Jason Aaron's Thor, it would be so easy for it to lose a step. But it actually seems like it may have actually become better, if that's even possible.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it seems to be picking up the pacing, which is...
It's so next level, so epic. It really feels like you're reading some futuristic mythology, and the God of Thunder and Herald of Galactus and Allfather just happens to be the main character. And it's just
and you get the feeling that these characters truly are bigger than you or your world alone.
Yeah.
Like I said, we discussed on the main show, it's like that concept of scale.
Yeah.
Of just how epic these figures and these events are. Like, I don't know that anybody could have done it better.
Yeah.
It really just gives a scale to the universal perspective that I didn't think was possible.
Yeah. And right out of the gates, this is where Cates really starts to set the tone for it. 'Cause it's this description of a particular battle that Thor fought for 2 years straight.
2 years, nonstop, uninterrupted. Without sleep, without food, without falling, all by himself, just him and his hammer.
Which is crazy. Like that, shouldn't that be its own 6-issue miniseries?
Yeah, you would think. I mean, that in itself is a tale that would define one's life or being.
Yeah, but for Thor, an immortal,
he doesn't even remember it.
Yeah.
It was, a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
It means nothing to him in the grand scheme of things, especially where he now sits.
Yeah. Which is so crazy, because to me, I do anything for 2 years, and I'm like, holy crap! But yeah, for him, it's just whatever.
And I mean, it's beautifully depicted too. I mean, the first page is nothing but a picture of the hammer with just blood and guts and bits and pieces, just dripping off of it, with that little bit of spark still coming through the hammer. And again, Thor doesn't even remember this.
Yeah.
And then it quickly brings us basically to where we are now, which was when Beta Ray Bill showed up and said, I want to talk to your boss.
Yeah.
And if that means I got to go through you,
I got to.
That's what I got to do.
And Thor is basically saying, yeah, you got to go through me.
Yeah, sorry.
And in the background of this story, Beta Ray Bill has come there for vengeance. Thor is acting as the Herald of Galactus, not because he necessarily wants to, but because he knows that there is something that will ultimately destroy their universe.
And he feels that maybe he can keep Galactus in check if he's involved with it.
Yeah, so he's knowing full well that there are going to be planets that are going to have to die to get Galactus back up to full power to be able to do this. But he's weighing the death of billions or trillions of people against the entire universe. And it's like this sheer scale of things is just unimaginable. And it seems almost that it's petty for Beta Ray Bill. Oh, you killed my people. No, we're talking about the whole universe.
We're talking about more than just your people. We're talking about all people.
Yeah.
And not only that, Thor is hoping that he can do it in a way that really is not going to affect that many people.
Yeah, minimize Galactus's footprint.
Yeah,
of death.
I mean, I think the last issue, he goes to the planet and he opens up, the bridge and tries to get all the people off before Galactus can consume the planet. Doesn't exactly work that way, and that creates its own problems. But
he tries.
Again, he's trying to kind of mitigate the damage while still achieving what needs to be done for them to stand a chance. But of course, Beta Ray Bill, you're not going to tell him no. If he's got to go through you,
he's going to go through you.
Okay.
And he tries. He's going, there's the monologuing, have at thee, and he's going right at Thor. Stormbreaker looks like it's about to make contact with Thor's noggin, and Thor backhands him.
Yeah, doesn't even move, doesn't lift the other hand.
Yeah.
I mean, just psh. And Beta Ray Bill just shoots across to the nearest planet and, tumbles right down, creates a crater in the ground. And Thor's like, dude, literally, stay down.
Yeah. And the way he does it is so majestic. Like his power level is so much greater than Beta Ray Bill's at this point. And he walks Bill through it like, I possess the power of the Herald of Galactus, as well as the powers befit the All-Father of Asgard, all added to my own. In the past, you and I have fought and been equal. This is not that.
That was a line. This will not be that case.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't want to do this, but I have to.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, stop.
Because there's time. Like, if we save the universe, I'll step out of your way. But yeah.
And of course, Beta Ray Bill thinks, you're insane. What are you talking about? Your mind has been warped.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're a slave to this being, to Galactus. And Thor makes a mistake and decides to show him, no, I'm not. Watch, look, he turns back into regular Thor from the Herald. He says, no, I'm still here. I'm choosing this path. And that kind of makes Galactus mad.
You think yourself above my control, little god. The power cosmic is mine alone to wield. You are my herald. I gave you your power. You belong to, and starts blasting Thor. And in this moment, you think you have a couple options. One, Beta Ray Bill can help try to save Thor, or Beta Ray Bill can just hit Thor upside the head with Stormbreaker.
And he chooses to hit Thor upside the head because he's like, no, I don't agree with what you're doing. What you're saying, you may think you're right, but you're still turning your back on our people.
Yeah.
These are people that you were supposed to protect, but you're choosing this.
Yeah.
And you're choosing to aid a monster in his quest.
Yeah.
And he basically questions you. I don't see how you can still lift that hammer given the things you're doing.
Right.
And Thor says, well, I still can, and let me show you exactly how I can lift it. And again, gives Beta Ray a nice little sense of his power.
Yeah. And it's poor Beta Ray. And Thor notices that Beta Ray is not wearing Asgardian armor. And Beta Ray Bill has a really, I don't know that he thought of that when he was getting dressed in the morning, that he would run into Thor, but like that he would not want to hurt Thor while wearing Odin's colors.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm like, oh, well, crap. Yeah. Man, you actually got respect for Asgard. Beta Ray.
But Thor quickly reminds him, or as he says, his kingdom's colors.
Yeah.
But Thor reminds him, it's not his kingdom anymore. I'm the All-Father now.
Yeah.
And I remember what that stands for. Where Beta Ray says he's the only one who remembers what it stands for. And he starts to go back, and he gets a couple licks in on Thor. And, again, they're questioning. Thor's like, this isn't easy for me. This isn't my choice. I'm not doing this because I'm power hungry or because I'm being forced to. This is the best of all the options we have available. The game is bigger than what you're thinking.
Yeah. The Black Winter is spreading. It is coming for everything. As it came for the universe before us, I will not allow it. Bill, chill. Like, this is the end of all things. And, oh, man, he's stomping the crap out of Bill at this point.
And again, it's that constant, he's not saying it over and over, but every time he's like, stay down.
Yeah, he pauses.
He's like just enough to back him off and put him down, and then he explains himself a little more. Like, look, you have to understand, I don't want to do this to you.
Yeah.
But I can very easily.
Yeah. And this is building up to probably the most badass moment.
If this ever becomes a movie, this is the scene I cannot wait to see.
Oh, yeah. Because so as Thor is semi-monologue, Beta Ray Bill is able to get it in a shot and create some space between him and Thor. And Thor throws Mjolnir at Bill, and Bill catches it before it hits
Just like right in front of his face, too.
And remember, Bill can do that. Bill's considered worthy. So Thor calls to Mjolnir and says, Bill, let it go. It will take your arm with it if it must, but there is no power in the universe strong enough to stop my hammer once called to my hand. Bill doesn't let go.
No.
He responds with, and yet. And
because it's not doing exactly what Thor said. It's starting to maybe waver a little bit.
Yeah. And it's slowly dragging him towards Thor. Like, it's just, it's so freaking epic because Mjolnir, like, it automatically comes back. And it's almost like the hammer's trying to decide.
Yeah.
Like, I have to go back, but I don't know that I want to. And just...
So finally, in another epic moment, Thor can't get it back without doing irreparable harm to Beta Ray Bill, which he's not willing to do.
Yeah.
And it just in like a brief second, he goes from doing this to say, well, if I can't have this one, I'll have another.
Yeah.
And get Stormbreaker right to his hand.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh, fine, we'll switch.
Yeah. And then a 2-page splash page, Thor hits Mjolnir so hard with Stormbreaker that Stormbreaker shatters. Oh my god.
And it causes Beta Ray to drop
Yeah.
Mjolnir. And, he says, do you see now why I wanted you to let go?
Yeah. Like, dude, this is just, we can end this peacefully. And Thor's about to, like, Beta Ray Bill once again refuses to concede. And Thor's about to he might kill him, like, at that point. Like,
yeah.
He
has no other choice at this point.
And then Bifrost cuts them off. Like, they no longer are standing next to each other. And out of that, Lady Sif telling Thor the only way is through her. It's so epic. Like, it's just so ridiculously next level. It's
and it's clear he's going to have to do it all again.
Yeah.
Here's another individual he looks as basically his brethren.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I stand with him. She clearly stands with Beta Ray Bill. And, it clearly says, next month, Thor versus Sif.
Yeah. So, awesomeness.
Like, that battle, I would love to see if and when that comes to the big screen. There were just so many epic moments in it.
Yeah.
But the Mjolnir... even when they first face off, there's an incredible panel where you've got Thor, with his herald power, which gives him this long flowing hair. He just looks very majestic. And him and Beta Ray are both just standing on two edges of the panel, and Galactus is just looking on in the back like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And, he tries to interject himself, to claim power over Thor, and Thor's like, no.
No.
Still not.
I may be your herald, but I'm Thor. Oh, God.
And,
the Mjolnir drag is so...
Oh, that was one of the most epic scenes, is just how quickly... Like I said, I think it showed a little something there, because... Yes, Thor probably could have ripped it back completely and done some serious damage, but he couldn't just pull it out of Ray's hand.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder if that makes Thor think a little bit.
Yeah.
That, he thought it would be no problem, but...
Yeah, just like, come here. No. Yeah.
Didn't work like that.
Super awesome.
So, yeah, once again, Donny Cates knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you for watching.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's about it.
We will see you next week. Well, hopefully... Him and Victor will, and hopefully I'll be back where I belong. But we will see you next Wednesday.
Toodles.